Cryptoslo, cryptocurrency news and investing.
Cryptoslo with more crypto gains. What's going on, guys? I got so much to talk about today that my head's about to pop off. So, trying to get a little content out of there. I had my final surgery on my eye, so hopefully this is it. I'm recovering and just kind of taking it easy. But let's get into it. Like I said, tons and tons of updates. So the first thing I want to talk about is Bitcoin. You know, we're really seeing the Twitter X timeline divided on whether or not we're in a bull run, we're not in a bull run, the bull run's over, etc., etc. So you have to understand liquidity cycles and you have to stay convicted. Right now is the easiest time to lose 30 to 40% of your portfolio from over trading. You know, I stick with conviction in the sense that we stack sats, we get into projects that have builders. Now, with that being said, I'm not chasing super tons of new stuff, okay? I've got nice positions and they're diversified across ordinals, NFTs, gaming, AI, on and on and on. dApps, DeFi, Bitcoin, just holding spot. You know, you want to be diversified. And what I can tell you is you just have to understand liquidity. On the 4-line EMA, Bitcoin is still looking good. I have, you know, we may come down and touch. It is quite possible we touch, you know, 52, 53. Am I saying it's going to happen? I really don't think so. A really, really good article to read is the Arthur Hayes, and he talks about this liquidity cycle and basically saying the government is going to print. They have to print. You know, the Japan carry trade was in the news the other day. Basically, if you don't understand the Japan carry trade, Japan's interest rates have been at 0%. So they were buying U.S. equities. They were borrowing money at 0%, buying U.S. equities, and capturing the arbitrage between the interest rates. Okay, so basically cheap money, let's leverage. Anytime you have cheap money, leverage. Okay, so this article goes very, very in-depth and detailed about the money supply, how this liquidity injection is going to happen, and basically, as Arthur Hayes always says, Yahtzee. So I'll leave a link down below to that, but I am still convinced my target bull run banana zone is still April through October of 2025. So, you know, in the meantime, you're going to see ups, you're going to see downs, and the trick again is don't over trade, okay? So that's about all I can say about that. So in my opinion, bull run is still on. Nothing's changed. Read and understand when the liquidity markets come, the government is going to have to print. They're going to have to cut rates. It's all gonna be beautiful. This is my third time around, so nothing's different. Nothing is ever different. It's liquidity cycles. So let's get into some of these projects. Okay, so I posted the producers. The mint was at 0.01 and they're chilling at 0.049. So a clean 5x so far. Now, this producers project definitely gives me grape vibes. And if I learned anything from grapes, that is you ride the hype wave until the first product launches. And then you take profits, okay? Because we're still in a very PvP world, especially with NFTs. You know, unfortunately, I rode grapes, my NFTs, to 4 ETH and back down again. I'm still holding, you know, OG wisdom is never sell for dust. Grapes, still building, just the liquidity kind of disappeared. So this producers project basically says they're going to share revenue. They're going to get people produce albums, and the revenue and royalties come to the people that hold producers. So I minted a bunch of these at 0.01, and then I basically bought another, you know, bunch more at like 0.012 or something like that. So definitely, I'm just still riding the wave. Again, don't get blindsided, sell into the hype. But they're still building hype. There's no product launch yet. So producers not doing bad considering how poorly NFTs are doing in general. Now, these damn grapes. Oh my gosh. Just pretty much obliterated. They had such a great Web 2 presence, Dan and Ben. Just still hold my grapes, hoping that they will do something. But again, if I've learned anything, and that is, I'm still well above. I think my cost average on these is like 0.03. I'm still in profit. But again, I'm not going to sell for dust. Running into the bull, focus is going to come back to projects like these, and I think NFTs will have their heyday again. But, a lot of people are like, NFTs are dead. The whole thing of tying a token to an NFT, I just don't know how I feel about it, because you basically almost need double the liquidity to hold the project up. But anyways, and then talking about Grapecoin, just pretty much murdered at this point. I guess it's almost to the point now where I'm just like, I might as well get 1% of the token supply at these prices. So, my investment, quote, we're not going to call it an investment. My purchase of Grapecoin is pretty much in the crapper. But what I'm doing is DCAing. I think it takes about 10 million coins to have 1% of the supply. So anytime that you can take 1% of a supply of something, just take it and sit on it, and, hopefully it moons. But it's getting harder because as this liquidity goes down, it gets harder and harder to buy this token because it becomes an illiquid pool. So that's kind of frustrating, but I'm hoping Grapes can turn it around. They're still building. Supposedly with the drop game that they have, they're going to share royalties. They have not expressed how that's going to be, whether it's going to be Grapecoin. There's still a staking contract for Grapecoin with a max of 1 million coins. I have 1 million coins in one of the contracts. That earns an APR for more Grapecoin. We'll see. Again, a lot of all of this is waiting for the liquidity, waiting for that real bull run. So that's Grapecoin. Not doing so hot, but just gaming in general has kind of been a big flop so far, and I think it's because we really need Bitcoin to be over 100K, and then projects like this are really going to take off. So getting into the runes, Arsic had a nice little jump up. They kind of did some posting. We went from the bottom 3.5 to 6, so it was a clean 2x. Does that mean I'm buying Arsic? Well, season 2 is supposedly going to start soon, and we'll see how that goes. $1 billion cat, kind of riding the middle line. My problem with things when they kind of ride the middle like this is you don't know which way the price action is going to go. But with fractals coming up and all this craziness with Fractal Bitcoin launch, we don't know how these runes are going to do. But obviously, I still have my gob stack. I'm basically about break even, but the market cap on this is so low, and they are very active. I still like my gob, still got my gob bag, but again, going for 1% of the supply is a target. So on any of these runes, if you have a decent stack at a great cost average, trying to get 1% of what you have conviction in, I'm not specifically saying which one, is a nice move. So with that, not financial advice. Looking at the collections, Runestones kind of had a decent little pump. Let's see here. Yeah, it was lower, but again, the Runestones create Arsic, which basically further dilutes Arsic. And that's why I kind of have a hard time buying Arsic. The market cap is low, but there's still a lot of inflation because we're going to have... Oh, shoot, this is the wrong collection. This is the actual Runestone. I was talking Arsic Meta Protocol. Here we go. you're still going to have more inflation, okay? So again, there was a nice little bump, 0.07 to so almost a 3x, and now it's come back down a little bit. But there hasn't been a lot of action in talking about this. But the problem I had with this originally, I sold at the top. I made out very nicely with my RSIC. Is a lot of the coal. These were given to the coals, and whatever. Who cares? I timed it right. I made some money on it, but I'm not going to get suckered into providing liquidity, especially when there's so much new stuff coming to Bitcoin, especially with the fractal hype. Now, could the fractal stuff end up being like Merlin? You really haven't heard a lot. Merlin keeps building though. So, I talked about that. I felt euphoria. I posted. I sold my first Merlin airdrop at $1.40. Made out like a banshee on it. It was awesome. And my second half of my Merlin, I'm just holding, but we don't know how successful Fractal Bitcoin is going to be. So it's going to be interesting to see. There's so many layer 2 or just, we're going to make Bitcoin faster type projects right now. It's tough to say. Another one of my projects, Blythstone. I still have a diamond Blythstone. I did have a whole bunch of the blacks. I sold those when they were kind of pumped up a little bit. And I'm just holding on to my one diamond because I think a diamond is like 20 or 30 blacks or something like that. I think diamonds are like at 0.031. So like, yeah, that's a pretty big difference. 10x, something like that. But I'm holding one. We'll see what it does. This has to do with the Opal protocol. Again, this project, definitely they're delaying until the full bull kicks in. When I keep saying full bull, I'm talking like Bitcoin 100K and up. So that's when I'm considering things start to get very interesting. That's when your phone starts ringing and grandma's like, "Hello, Sonny, can I get some of that Bitcoin?" So yeah. So Uniworld's Keys of Destiny. Why am I interested in this? I have a Titan key. Those are sitting at about 0.108. I had some of these. I sold for a profit, the lower ones, the Aries. I want to have exposure to this because somehow this is linked to the Fractal Bitcoin. So with that being said, if there's some kind of airdrop or something or some kind of access, basically these Uniworld Keys of Destiny will act as some type of access. What exactly? I'm not really sure yet. And again, I think some of these devs are really trying to time these projects for the best outcome of when Bitcoin's starting to run hard. So, I posted this on my timeline. Jerry's. So JerrysBox. This is a meme coin experiment on the RGB protocol on the Lightning Network. So this RGB protocol is now supported by Token Pocket. Okay. And I put a post out there on this, how to get this set up, but basically download Token Pocket, set up the RGB network, send a little Bitcoin to it. I'll leave a link to the post I did. But basically, if you hold ordinals like BitBoy, there was a whole huge list, Pizza Wizard, OrdiRats, Sats, you're going to get part of this airdrop. Now it's a little confusing because the RGB network runs on a gas token and a little BTC, but supposedly they're going to drop the gas token. But just see my post on X. Follow me on X if you haven't already, and you can see this may pay, or it looks like they're going to have a good distribution, but not everyone's jumping through the hoops, and this seems kind of Eastern Asia, Chinese, and they love their ordinals, but I think a lot of people are fading this JerrysBox just because it seems like it's too hard to set up. But honestly, it's pretty easy. It wasn't too bad at all. So, and this was my post on how to set it up. You set up your wallet, send some BTC to it. Now there's a YouTube video on setting up Token Pocket. Don't put a lot of money in there. Again, it's kind of considered a hot wallet per se, because it is, generated. Man, this guys won't stop. All right, since we're talking ordinals and such, Airheads, don't sleep on Airheads. Airheads is the creme de la creme project by Arthur Hayes. He's never backed a project. The premise of the project is that your wallet's too fat and you're getting rich shamed. So, how do you get in on the action on Airheads? Well, it's pretty easy. You download the OYL wallet, which is where the mint is going to happen, okay? And you follow Airheads on X, okay? And you follow Arthur Hayes. And you interact and stay active, okay? And you can earn XP, and this XP will possibly give you a better chance of getting whitelist. Plus, they're giving out 1,000 whitelists to collaborators. My thoughts on this project: I think Airheads could go easily to 1 BTC. Okay? Let me repeat. Let me timestamp that. I think Airheads could go to 1 BTC. Not financial advice. If you can get one of these, go for it. So how do you get XP? You get XP by moving ordinal and rune assets to your OYL wallet. Okay. Now, there's risk. As always, I talked about this in my Airhead video. There's risk to putting assets in any new wallet. Okay. So that has to be a calculated risk on your part of how much you put in there and how much XP. But the more you put in your wallet, the more XP you get, the better your chances of getting whitelist and getting on this project. Now, there's also going to be so these were some of the assets. Whale Pass. They ain't going to be cheap. I think it's going to be like $6,000-7,000. That guarantees you a mint. Okay. Now, in the short term, there could be some dumping, but it's because it's PvP. Remember that. But I think in the full bowl, when people are making crazy money, these babies are gonna fly. So if I can get one, I'm gonna hold on to it with tight hands. So that's about it. That's OYL wallet. And the mint will be in the wallet. Let's see. SatsPump.Fun. So SatsPump.Fun doing a snapshot of people once again holding ordinals, and they're gonna have a fractal airdrop. So Sats.Fun, Pump.Fun is going to be like Pump.Fun, but it's going to be on Fractal Bitcoin. So meme coins on Bitcoin with the fast blocks. So this should be interesting. Getting in on the first created. Now I know there's pre-fractal talk of pre-fractal things, but this is going to be good. You want to get in on it. So follow SatsPump.Fun and check them out. Follow the Fractal project. Still unveiling. Trunk. Whipping and swapping. Back to 83 cents. Headed back to $1 again. Again, I stated I'm just sitting in my spot bag from this. I'm not doing any leverage or anything. But Trunk doing very well. Continues to climb back from that big liquidation event on Solend, now Save.Finance, I think. But some things have been put into place to prevent such extreme liquidation. So again, Trunk, this is a long hold for me. I'm just holding into the bull, you know. See how it plays out. So that is Trunk, elephant money. Zen. Not much to say about Zen. I've had a ton of people asking me what's going on. What's your thought process with Zen? My thought process is this. Zen on ETH obviously holds all the economic value of all the different chains, number one. Number two, I think Jack purposely deployed Zen on every single chain he could for multiple reasons. Number one, to build the network, to get Zen in more people's hands. Number two, to test the capabilities of every blockchain so that he could culminate that and roll it up into building the fastest, most reliable blockchain ever created. That's my thought. How Zen is gonna come into play with this, that I don't know. I mean, he said a lot of stuff along the way on this journey, so it's tough to say because he can't make any guarantees, because then you have the concept of security, expectation of profit. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. I was in a spaces the other day and we were talking about this, but I do believe part of the exercise of iterating through all the chains was to test all the chains to the highest degree to find out the weaknesses, and so that they could be taken, all culminated up post-mortem to find and build the fastest blockchain ever created in history. So we'll see. Now, with that being said, gas is at 1 GUI. Now, I'm not telling you to mint. However, if a lot of your mints from participating in this early on are way underwater, the most logical thing to do is to mint. A Centurion's about $70. In the beginning of all this monkey business, it was $1,200 with $500 and $600 to claim. So the Centurion was like $1,800 to fully claim out. Now at these prices, at 1, it's not even 1. It was like point something or something like that. So what strategically, and I know not everyone's doing this, in order to stay ahead, you have to DCA. And that if you believe in the project, Hex took 2 years and then a 10,000x. So it's been 2 years in Zen. Now, as these things iterate, it takes longer and longer to find the appreciation. But I can almost guarantee you, if you Paretoed this out, the percentage of people that's still minting is very low in comparison to the original participation of this project. So, with that, $70 in Centurions don't get cheap now. I've probably minted like a nice little stack of them the other day. But on the weekends, the gas is crazy. I don't understand why gas is so low on ETH. A lot of it is that Ethereum DeFi, no one's come out with a really good project as of the late. So, what are you going to do? There's the GUI is low. So with that is my strategy right now. Again, I'm not really doing a deep dive and talking more about Zen until I see Jack start to take, put out some real information, not just shit posting pictures of Batman and stuff, but what is really going on, what is, where are we headed. So we'll see but in the meantime, I know I want more coins, so I'm going to keep getting those coins. Moving on, Titan, nice little pump, man. Not the same as the beginning of this, but not bad at all considering. Now, in the scheme of things, Titan X is very low compared to what we had back here during those initial pumps. But I know I haven't talked a lot about Titan, but just even the smallest pump makes a huge difference. Let's see. I have about, 11 billion coins left. So I've been selling most of my Titan when it makes sense. So I've pulled in probably 20,000, 25,000-ish. But I've got like 6,000 in mints left coming due. I'll likely just at this point hold on to these coins. So I know I haven't talked about Titan a lot. There's all these new side protocols launching. But me personally, there's been money made in some of these side protocols, but I'm just staying in the main thing. As far as minting new miners right now, there's still a negative ROI. So really, Titan's price isn't high enough for it to make sense to generate new minters. But again, it's paid. I can't complain. I think I put in $5,000 originally into this, and I just minted out my ladders day 1. So We'll see. We'll see how it does. But at this point, it doesn't really matter. We've made really good money on it, and I think the buy and burn keeps going. It could do. Titan could surprise us and really pop up there. So I know it was a really long one today, but again, I'm in a gazillion projects. I have a ton of exposure. And I can tell you the full bowl is not here yet. You just have to be patient, and we'll lock in those gains so hard. And getting positions when no one else is the key, because then the money just flows to you. You're not chasing it. So with that being said, like, subscribe. Be sure to sub to me on X at bitcoinslo. And that's it. This is Cryptoslo. If you're not talking gains, then we're not talking.